I didn't have those earlier. I
It's
didn't
because
have.
you decided to cut. Here's what I will say. I'm glad that we now pressed record so that our
I,
hair
so
conversation can go.
everyone can know about our hair woes.
Our hair was. I have not had a fringe slash bangs since I was in middle school. My parents or my mom decided that my hair was so thick that I needed, and this was probably a fair judgment. Like it was a lot. And so back in the 90s and 80s, you just did a fringe. And I did it, and I grew my fringe out from when I graduated middle school to high school, and it was like people were seeing me for the first time. It was like I had been
I did the
whatever.
same bangs
So
slash
to
fringe.
go I have the summary is I have PTSD about bangs. Like, yours are
That's
cute, it's appropriate, like,
yeah.
there's nothing when I look at Taylor Swift and I'm like, "Oh my god, little adorable girl there," but, like, when I think about myself, I think about people just, like, not wanting to date me
Well, here's
until I grew
the
my bangs out.
you have a really small forehead, and so you don't have like a bangs appropriate forehead because your my forehead is a five head, and so like they help
I'm not
proportion.
sure that I've noticed, and I mean that genuinely, because
It's
I've
not
known you.
that like I've gotten comments or anything, but it's a large forehead, so
Can
like
you
the
imagine if someone was just like, "Your forehead is
humongous.
huge."
You know what? I can because those are the kinds of friends I have. One time I was sitting
Kristy
next to
has some if y'all are listening and you're friends of Kristy,
no, but this is on me.
you need to look
This is
around
who we are.
yourself. Look at who you are and
This is
think
who
about
we
it.
are.
Someone told her she had a big forehead. Who does that?
Somebody, so I was sitting next to Jen, my dear Jen, and I
And
was
I
sitting.
love Jen. So Jen, you don't count.
I looked down and I said, Jen, your fingernails are wrong.
See,
Her fingernails
Bailey, you're
grow.
part of the problem.
I am part of the problem. Yeah, her fingernails grow wrong though, but she has.
But do you think she doesn't know that? Do you
No,
think you have to be the
she
one
has.
that tells her?
This was when we were in our early 20s, and she has told
Oh,
me
even better when you're like real secure in
real
yourself.
vulnerable that
Yeah, yeah.
she doesn't like to not have fingernail polish on now because of because of me.
I hate you for that. Jen, I'm sorry. You know who wouldn't have mentioned that? Me.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Rough stuff. Hey guys, welcome back. We're back
we're back
here.
in
W-
this hellscape of the
That's
world.
correct. The I would like to once again blame Kristy for this because I've been home for a while. Kristy has not been home for a while.
I was like, I have been home for 6 days.
6 days. Yep.
Been 6 days.
Kristy, once again, if you guys remember the summertime, where I was just like, I've been here.
Oh no
And
no
Kristy,
no! I was available in the
it's
summer.
recorded.
You were not. You were busy all of August. I can look at our text messages. You were at the beach a lot.
I live in North Carolina. That's what we do.
Your
We
beach
get
is
I think I had one weekend where I said, this is like the privilege of being middle class and also being near the beach. I said I got sad, so we went to the beach, which was a true story.
it was
That was not I just booked it, and I should say, like, I'm an eldest child, so, like, I'm not frivolous with money or anything. I mean, I have a Atlanta, state shirt on that I got from, uh, Primark, which if you're from the UK, you will know what that is. It is not real.
it's not a real place.
It's not a real place at all, but it's like this very athlo leisure wear,
It is
whatever. It looks
like
like a football jersey. And
run
but I saw it and I laughed so hard because I was like, and
not real.
whoever was with me was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, that doesn't exist." So that's
Not
one thing. Anyway, I'm pretty whatever with money, but I was like, I just booked it, and I told Stuart we're going to the beach.
She did. I remember this day well. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, fair due. It,
But the real thing here is that Kristy is the problem that we all need to know about.
this is an oldest child, youngest child, never ending battle. Who is the problem?
But
It's
it's
not,
tough because it's
it's
true.
never going to be. No, it's not. I will show you the text messages, but Really, what the problem is that we both have lives on occasion.
No, the truth is Kristy's like, you know what, Colorado. And I'm like, okay, see you in 5 years.
I was gone
Or more
for
honorably, she visits her parents. And I'm like,
I was
okay,
gone for
that
two and a
makes
half
sense.
weeks of the whole summer.
Which was a long time. I mean,
You
I'm
get
not going out to
2 weeks
there.
of the summer to blame me.
Look, I
The
can't go out
rest
there because I have to go out there every year for the rest of my life, apparently, from now on. Isn't AAR in Colorado this next
it is.
time?
It's in Denver again. Leah hates Colorado a lot, guys.
I don't. I don't. I just feel like I'm there all the
She sends
time.
me every time there's a Dateline about Colorado, she sends it to me and goes,
Well,
"See, somebody should live there."
that's just problematic. Like that's just Colorado being a problem. That's not me hating it. It's just we flip on the thing and we're like, is it going to be
It's in Colorado.
you would think based on where we both are from that it would be the deep south, and it sure is a lot of times because of poverty and all that. But I kid you not, something's in the water up there in old Cocoa because it Dateline 9 out of 10. It's
It's not.
like you just put them in the well, and I'm like,
It's the lack of
y'all
sex.
had free weed. What's happening? Like,
I did just read a really good true crime book
was it
about
about Colorado?
Georgia. It was about Georgia.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not saying it doesn't happen. Look, I'm self-deprecating enough about my region that I assumed they're all in the South. But it just kept coming. It became a joke because it was just like in Denver, Colorado, and I'm like, Jesus.
it's mostly in Greeley, though. Greeley is where the problem is. You
I saw
you picked
about a guy getting shot on the front porch in
yeah,
Greeley. That happened.
yeah,
And I don't even know these places. I know these places because of Kristy. So
yeah.
when I hear them, I'm like, a football player got shot. And why do I know this? Why is this in my head? On the front porch of a porch
And
in Greeley,
she's like,
Colorado.
"Oh, that's where I went to college."
I know, but did you know about the guy who got shot on his front porch?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, of course you did. Because it's just murders up there. And
Murder
I
town.
don't, 'cause it's like a liberal place. It's like supposed to be like peace, love, and harmony, right? And you got the mountains and you got the
There's
weed.
there's also quite a few cults in Colorado, though. Like, this is like we've got Crestone. We've got the people with the yellow deli. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a yellow banner. Maybe
I
it's
knew
called.
about Crestone because I listened to that Banished in Thin Air podcast. And guess where it was set?
And
Colorado. This girl wandered off from a drum circle and never came back.
the what was her name? Mother God.
Oh,
That was.
yeah. Was that in Colorado too? I feel like you're proving your point right now. You've
I'm
brought up
just
one
aware.
Georgia murder that you read about.
I am aware of the problems. That's where all my friends are. So
Well, just be careful. Yes. That's what I tell Kristy. Kristy's like, it's just because you hate Colorado. She doesn't realize that it's not. It's funny now, but it isn't that. It's that I have to be there constantly and everyone's killing everyone, apparently, which is
Leah
tough.
has gone to Colorado 3 times.
Has it only been 3?
It's only been 3 times.
Well, but it was very my recency bias. Well, 4 now. It'll be 4.
It
And
will
it's
be
the
4.
issue is that it's okay, here there are multiple issues. And again, not having to do with hating Colorado. The
Uh,
main issue is that no, it isn't. The main issue is that it's always winter that we
that's not.
go.
Oh, it is always winter when we go. Yeah, because it's in
It's
November.
she's always on the defense. She thought I was
Well,
saying it's always winter there.
a
No.
lot of people have
It's
said to me,
always winter
always.
when we go. And also, it's always Denver or Denver suburbs. It would be like me taking you to Atlanta and being in the winter and being like, "Well, there's Georgia."
Here's
It's
the
like,
problem: is that you only go for AAR. Where else are we gonna go?
"Well,
AAR's
you
not
could have
really
invited me on your 2-week trip, but you didn't.
I did.
You didn't."
You can come to Colorado anytime you want. I will come.
I
We'll
actually didn't know if she invited me or not, but I pulled a very intense oldest child, and I was right. She didn't.
We'll drive. I'll take you. I know everywhere I would
I'm
take you.
not driving to Colorado. That's crazy. I will pay for Penny to be under your seat.
I'll drive out there so that we have a car and you can fly out there and meet me. And then I'll take you to a Red Rocks show and I'll take you to mountain towns, and you can see Garden of the Gods. I'll take you on a little like adventure to Greeley, and you can see where all the murders happen.
I don't know. Also, my friend says it smells like poop, so I don't want to
It
go to
does.
that.
We won't go to Greeley.
I don't know if I really want to go there. Anyway, guys, welcome to Theology on the Rocks, where Kristy and I haven't seen each other in a while, and every time we haven't, you get this intense because you're basically listening to what it sounds like when we talk to each other,
It's
which
true.
is this.
It's
And
true.
welcome to 2026, where hey, we're
Every
already taking over countries and killing people in the streets, so
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
So
Just a lot of war
I had a
crime.
moment of happiness at New Year's where I was like, "Oh, it's a new year," and
It's
then
a new year and a new horror.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of war crimes, a lot of domestic terrorism being enacted by government agencies. It's a, you know, yeah.
I constantly have to tell Stuart, who is a immigrant from Scotland, as you all will know, but I have to be like, it hasn't always been like this. This is like this is a new thing. This is a new thing, and he's just like, I know you get it.
So, like, it has always been like this. It just hasn't always been like this on the grand scale.
It
Like
has,
we've always had
and we
people
have.
dying
We
and
sure have. And I
war.
will say we have our good friend Josh Patterson of Rethinking Faith has written a Substack which discusses this very issue, which is
Yeah,
that in fact it has always been going on. It's just a different flair and doesn't all the time affect
it's
middle
always
class white people. And so
yeah,
now we're now noticing, and that's a
yeah.
whole thing. So yes,
You should.
I'll
Oh,
rephrase. Stuart, this is a new thing for us.
it's
For
for yeah.
you and it is
I
a
will
new thing.
also say though that I think that part of the issue, and I genuinely mean this, is that like we're so attached to our phones and to like news cycles, and I think that while like these things have always been happening, we haven't lived 24/7 getting new horrors every time we wake up,
And
and
getting videos and all that stuff,
the
like,
video.
being able to see things.
Yeah, and while like there's something to be said for being aware, there's also something to be said for like massive overload of trauma and horror, and like we're being paralyzed with grief and tragedy and everything else that's been going on, and I think that that's like a genuine problem that
I just looked at the, I agree, and I just hold on. Sorry, I still have a cold, guys.
he has had this cough for like what 3 months now.
3 months. Yeah, mhm. Yep, 3 months.
Yeah,
Hey.
it,
But also we had this is this is a side quest, but also there was a thing that was like, "Hey, whatever your number 1 song was in 1992 is how your New Year's is gonna be." And
yeah,
mine was Boys to Men, The End of the Road.
yeah.
Oh, now you've come
And then
to
it was
the end of the road.
of the road. Mine, because mine was 1993, and it was I Will
Yours
Always
and
Love You.
yeah, yours and Stuart's were the same.
So yours is like, it's the end of the road, and we're like, yep, bye.
I'll always love you. It's been nice. It's been
Been
good knowing
great.
you.
That's been great.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so I forgot what I was gonna say now. I went on my side quest and I couldn't circle back. I'm sorry for that.
Well, no, I mean, I think that, and this is one of the things that we wanted to do today, because there are horrible, horrible things happening, and we certainly don't want to ignore the horrible things. And obviously, also, like, we'll talk about them, but we also wanted to be able to, like, recognize that just being constantly angry and tortured and traumatized is not productive or good for us. So we also want to be hopeful and, like, have things to strive for that are positive.
My crazy brain brought it back to me.
Yeah, what?
And it's along you talking help. I went like this, which seems derogatory, but it was you talking made me remember it. Is that so? I do AR Southeast, and one of the things I do for that conference is I do the student papers, and I usually can judge like what's happening in young people's brains by the topics
Yeah.
because some of them will be very repetitive. So strangely last year, it was a lot to do with, like, supernatural stuff, interestingly enough. I don't know if we were in, like, escapism thing, but there was a lot of, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
vampires
I do
and
remember
stuff.
you telling me that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and this year, America. Christian nationalism, religion, coded language, the abortion debate, like, it was all immigration stuff, like, there were
Mhm.
so many papers on
Yeah.
that topic, and I think that's an interesting thing to me.
Yeah. I find it interesting to see what your themes are with the students every year.
That one was a big one. I mean, it may have been the biggest thing that
Yeah.
we had for the
Well,
student paper, because it's what they're interested in and what they're listening to, or not listening to, but what they're consuming and what's on their mind. And so
yeah.
it's like getting a little window. I mean, Kristy and I teach them, but we don't get the window because we're giving them prescribed essays and things to read and write about, and they'll put in a little of themselves. But these papers are just papers that they came up with on their own to submit, and no one's making them do that.
Yeah.
And to me, that's it's always interesting from a sociological perspective to see like the themes, and that was overwhelmingly the theme. Like
Yeah.
the Constitution, there was several papers about the Constitution, like it is just it's just a thing, and it's clearly on there. So, but I will say that's kind of a hopeful thing. We move from a lot of like vampire romance situation and like I keep talking about that. That paper was actually incredibly good. This woman tracked the way that religion was used to manipulate the vampire genre in terms of TV and media, and it was really, really interesting.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
why it's stuck in my head. So I don't want her to think I'm calling it. Not if she ever listens to this. Your paper was good, and I remember it. Um, but there was more than that. There was a lot of like architecture, like this is how things are built, and a lot
Yeah.
of like here's a book that I've read and this sort of stuff. And this year it feels like our world's falling apart. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. So it made me feel like they've gone from like disassociation to reassociation in a way.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's definitely good. Like we
Mhm.
want to make sure we're still operating within what's going on. And like I said, like I obviously we need to be able to talk about things that are happening and we need to be aware of things that are happening. But like I just like especially after yesterday,
Mm.
and the shooting and the murder in Minneapolis that happened. I just felt really like I couldn't do anything else. I was so despondent and I was just like this. It was much like when George Floyd was murdered, like there's just
Mm.
a heaviness and a kind of like the evil feels like it's taking over. And that's not going to help. Feeling like the evil is winning and just kind of like becoming resigned to it, which Josh mentioned in his
Yep.
Substack as well. It was great. We'll shoot up a link for it, but
Yeah.
it
And I think
it's
too, like
important for us to be able to say like that there is still hope and that there is still something to fight for and that we still have love and joy and those kinds of things because uh like we just won't survive in despair.
and it's where I really appreciate. I think there's a difference between disassociating and being inspired. And I think like I just finished the Stranger Things finale yesterday,
Hmm.
and I know you probably don't watch it, although you could. But I will say
No, I watched the first season. I just didn't care.
that one's so cool and like 80s nostalgic and like fun and like
I know it just didn't hit, and so I just gave up.
that
But like,
Game of Thrones makes sense to me. Stranger Things makes less sense to me for you. Like I could definitely see Game of Thrones like being like a hit, a miss for you, but like I feel like Stranger Things would be a hit.
I do also like because I remember very distinctly the time and place in my life in which I watched that first season, and like nothing was going to hit during that period of my life.
That's
Um,
fair.
and so it's really not like a
It's
Stranger
very
Things
like
for me. Like
80s.
I didn't I didn't get into it, and then it was just like too late to pick up. Like
It's like Now and Then had a baby with what's that 80s film with all the kids and they're on like the bridge and they go
Stand by Me.
Stand by Me. It's like that if that had a baby and then you add like a supernatural bad guy basically. But like
I
the
mean,
real the real story is the story of like their friendships and
yeah,
stuff.
I do love Winona Ryder.
She's
So
so great. She's so
she's,
great in it. This is her
I,
renaissance, I feel
yeah,
like.
like I have loved her forever. I think she's fantastic. So, but this is not me saying like there's anything particularly I didn't like about it. It just didn't stick, and then it was like I have to go back. I'd have to do the whole thing, and it just felt.
There's only 5 seasons, Kristy. This isn't a lost situation. You can go back.
It just feels like
You've
one
only
of those
got
things where
you only got
like
4 now if you've watched the first one. So
oh, I would have to rewatch it. I don't remember a
yeah.
single thing.
I mean, we
Um,
mostly just play Dungeons and Dragons a lot,
it
but
does feel like one of those things where like maybe if I was like okay, I have nothing to do for this month, like I'll watch Stranger Things, but other
she's
things
also a contrarian in that, a social
that
contrarian.
doesn't help, yeah, because
But
I
also,
never watched.
but I will say the point I was trying to make is that I think there's a difference between being inspired and disassociating. Like
Yeah,
scrolling or stuff may disassociate, and there are times for both of those. Like I have moments after I teach where I need to disassociate because it's been too much. But like I will say, watching the finale of that, it felt like those sort of old school like because they're all kids. I mean, that's the most important thing is you've got these kids and the kids are perpetually trying to tell the adults like this thing is bad and it's
yeah,
going to take over everything. And the adults are kind of idiots in the show. You have a couple, you've got Winona Ryder, of course, but they really take a lot of convincing. And a lot of times the kids just go and do it themselves because they're and I think for me that was inspiring because it's like it's good versus evil. It's not like a complex story. And it's like the kids are battling this evil
yes,
and, it makes you feel inspired because you're like, okay, like these are kids. They have no resources. Like in the beginning they can't even drive. They're on their bicycles cuz they don't have cars to like and they're taking on this kind of global evil and it's like it could seem silly but also I sort of get the draw of like the Star Wars stuff and this in a way cuz it's like sometimes we need to be inspired that we can do something, to help and to make it better. And so
absolutely,
watching that, I was like kind of fist pumping, being like,
yeah. I mean,
like,
like this is a wildly different example, but every now and then I will like listen to or watch Les Mis, and I'm just like,
yeah,
yeah, like we can do this. We can rise up. Like
freaking Hamilton. Heck
yeah,
yeah.
like there's so much art, which is important. Like art is so important, but there's so much art out there that can give us that inspiration and like genuinely like push us to be thinking and be inspired and to like develop better empathy and all these kinds of things that like we need to consume all of that.
Yeah.
Um, whether it's Stranger Things or
Really bad,
you
Sister
know,
Christy.
I'm trying to think of what
She's
the
got to take it high art.
but
She's over here
is
watching Anna
super
Karenina being like, oh,
depressing. I
I
watched a lot
know.
of very
I
depressing
read that
stuff
book.
this week. But like, yeah,
I mean, not the best example.
it's uh,
Oh, guys, by the way, we're drinking uh,
yeah,
a dry wine because we figured it's dry January for some of you. I
dry January
myself
for us too, but in the
For I have
better
a
way.
Shardy. I have a Shardy, and Christy has a red of some persuasion.
Red. Hmm. I can't pronounce the name of it, so it's fine.
Okay. Cheers. Chink chink. I have
But
my
cheers.
Georgia cup up. We still live in hope.
I have a Colorado cup, which was
The
not
track.
planned.
There's like a knife just going like this on the side of
Just
it.
like yeah. Um,
I need to find that the murder capital of the world. Um, which is not. Stuart and I googled it one night. It actually is the South. You're far more likely
I
to
was
know.
like, it's not Colorado,
No,
but
not at all. It's all the places you think that are like the poorest. It's just that I think we kill each other in a not very dramatic fashion. I think it's just like not dramatic. It's profuse. It's
it's just
not
like,
dramatic. There's not a
well,
there's not a story to it.
yeah.
I think Colorado has more of a murder
Or that's
story.
the story. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, so when Leah and I were talking about what we wanted to do today, I jokingly said that we should do dry drinks because it's dry January, except that neither of us are doing dry January because no, I don't need any more.
I feel like the news is my dry January.
I know, like the
Also,
world is poor. So we're drinking dry wines and we're gonna
we saw
talk
that
about
joke somewhere.
yeah, I was like, that joke was funny, we should do that.
And then she said on a voice note, we should talk about hope in the new year or Christian nationalists. It was like in the same breath. And I was
It
like,
was like,
those
here's this
are
idea for like a hopeful podcast, or we can do Christian nationalism.
and I said, let's go for a new year theme.
Start
I
with the new
mean,
year.
we can do both. Why not both?
Why not? Why not?
You guys get to hear it first, is that I'm putting forth a proposal that I've already chatted with a publishing house about the next bad theology book, which will be about
Woohoo!
Christian nationalism
Yeah.
and UK
Oh, okay.
nationalism. Yeah, it's going to be like a comparative. It's going to be a lot of discourse analysis. So, like, what's being published. I don't like talking about things in the abstract. I feel like Christian nationalism gets talked about a lot as like a
A big thing. Yeah.
yeah, like it's like this big baddie, but we don't really know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I really want to like practical theology it and like analyze like sort of stuff that's coming from the governments or stuff that's coming from these political parties that's published, that's available, that's concrete that you can look at and sort of
Yeah.
see how it's manipulating people's brains. But
Yeah.
that's not what we're going to talk about today.
Not today, but maybe
Not
next week.
today. Just know she's
There.
back there. Leah's
Um,
tour of doom continues. You're right. You're right. One good thing. And
you're
then
right. You got
all I want
pigeonholed.
to do is write about this like Howard Finster, this like artist from Georgia that does this like folk art, and people are like, "Yeah, cool." So about bad theology, and I'm like, "Okay, that's it. That's it. It's me. That's
I
me
keep
done."
saying I'm gonna try to write more uplifting, like happy things, but nope. Grief, trauma, mass incarceration. Those are the things that I get to.
You get to talk about Southern Gothic writers with me,
Southern Gothic writers. Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
and you get to chair a panel at AR Southeast for like queer studies in the South, which will be
I
fun.
do. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm about to ask
It's
you
been
to
a
do
minute
something else.
since I shared something, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm sorry. What? What did you?
I said I'm about to ask you to do something else, and then I just trailed
Oh,
off
good.
and went like this.
I saw
And
the like smirk, and I was like, "What did I just miss? I missed something."
no, it's
Okay.
fine. Just say yes. See, that's the correct answer. So we
Um.
talked. So if we are talking about hope in the new year, you and I have not talked about Christmas, but I have had this thing where I don't really do like New Year's resolutions. But I have in my head sort of like what I'm going into the new year with,
Yeah.
and I it's right here. So I'll hold on.
Ooh.
So I got like a really amazing. I got two really amazing presents at Christmas. That happened by a strange circumstance. So one of them is in the past few months, those of you who are close to me will know that sadly my cousin passed away and then my aunt passed away.
Yeah.
And so as it goes, it's my grandma had my mom and my aunt, and then my aunt had so her daughter passed away and then she passed away. So when I was growing up, I had this it was a bracelet that my grandma had. And I was obsessed with my grandma. My grandma passed away from as a complication of Alzheimer's when I was a senior in high school. She was my like person. Like we were very similar. She would have been a
Did
theologian. Hmm?
your last book, right?
So
You
what?
dedicated you dedicated your last book to her.
So that was my other grandma.
Oh, that was the other. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this one was like a Southern Baptist lady. She was a World War II. She like canned food. She was a Southern lady. She was kind of terrifying, but also awesome. Her name was Mary.
Uh-huh.
Like, of course it was. But anyway, she had this charm bracelet, and it was really sad in the end. Any of you who have had a relative or someone you know who has had Alzheimer's, it is, I'm not going to say the worst because that feels like a claim I cannot make, but it is a terrible event.
It is.
Because she basically raised me because my parents were working all the time.
Mhm.
And like, but she got Alzheimer's probably when I was about 16. And by the end, she didn't really remember who I was, but she's still alive, and it's anyway.
Yeah,
I
it's
promise
my
there's
grandma
a nice
Yeah.
ending to this.
My
No, go
grandma
ahead.
had no, my grandma had the same. Well, she had dementia, but the same thing happened. She forgot who I was for the last like 2 years of her life. So yeah, it's hard because
Yeah,
you
and
have to mourn them
I
while they're
kept
still.
visiting, and I kept being like, and you get and then she lost her because it's degenerative. She was in a hospital bed because she lost the ability to walk, and then she lost the ability to speak. And there would be moments where you could see little flickers in the eye, and you were just like, oh my gosh, she's just trapped in there, like, and it's so whatever. So it destroyed me.
Yeah,
And when she passed, I had it. There's lots of feelings there. She was kind of my hero. She was my hero. So she had this bracelet that had like it was this charm bracelet that had all of her kids and her grandkids and her husband and like just and I remember when I was a little girl, she'd always take it off to like wash her hands or do whatever, and I would just like play with it, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing because it was like a cutout of our heads, like a little profile. And when she passed, my mom was like, as parents do, they're like, is there anything that you might like? And I was 18 years old, and I said, all I want is that charm bracelet. Like she wore it every day, like that's what I want.
yeah,
And I and mom was like, well, I think she gave it to your cousin. Or sorry, I think your cousin got it already. And I said, my cousin was older. I was like, okay, that's fine.
yeah.
That's okay. 25 years later,
There it is.
my mom got my aunt's jewelry box, who had consequently gotten her daughter's jewelry box. And they both passed, and
So
it
you
was in
got
the
the charm.
jewelry box. And 25 years later, I have it. And
That's so sweet. That's
it's great.
yeah.
And so you
That's
can
really.
see all the little heads.
I love it.
And
To put a
it was
picture up on
yeah, we
Instagram.
will. It's really delightful. Like
Yeah,
not a lot of things kind of get me, but it got me, and it also feels like it's the theme for my New Year's when I got this. I just was like, "Oh my gosh." Like I just like held on to it. I mean, I also got her this I got her ring or whatever. But
oh,
like
okay.
yeah, but like this was what all that I ever wanted for all these years. And like to have it, and I could see it in my head. This is how crazy it is. I could see the little heads in my head. I just, but I hadn't seen it for 25 years. And to actually get it just made me feel like the theme of the new year for me is like finding things that are lost that bring me joy or that I had in a previous life that bring me joy.
Yeah,
And so I feel
yeah,
like that became the sort of overwhelming remembering what made me who I was, because I think
yeah,
in some ways in this time you can forget. And I got a whole bunch. You can't see it, and God, you don't want to. I got a whole bunch of boxes of videotapes of me in college that I'm going to transfer to DVD. And like
yeah.
mom had looked at them and she was like, you were so like confident and like young and enthusiastic and all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna quit moving forward and I'm gonna move backwards a little bit and try to think about those things in a different
Yeah,
way. So
I
that's
like
my
that.
thing. What
That's
about
really
yours?
yeah. Um, Mine is like if I have to come up with a word, and this is gonna sound really lame, but is intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that I post the PhD, which like I graduated now, it's been 4 years. So, like I need to stop being like post PhD, but it takes a while to heal because that shit's
No,
rough.
it. Ooh,
So,
I still feel like I'm post PhD, and that was 2011.
right? Like I'm like, okay, so post the PhD, I just honestly was trying to like sort out what I was without being a student, and trying to be better at reclaiming habits or hobbies or whatnot that I liked doing before everything. And so like I started reading and I decided that I was going to read just whatever. Like I'm going to read for fun again. I haven't read for fun in years because you don't have time.
Mm-mm.
And
Not in this line of work.
yeah, like but I'm going to read for fun and I said, "You know what? I've never been good at reading contemporary stuff because I've always been kind of a snob about literature, which is not surprising at all."
Sorry, Stranger Things.
But like I'm gonna read the trashy stuff and I'm gonna read the stuff that's like, popular and on all of that. And I did that for a while and then I started feeling like, okay, I want to start like trying every now and then to read something a little better, and I kind of did that last year, but this year I really was like, I want to read stuff intentionally, but then I was also like a bigger, not just about reading, but like a bigger kind of notion of like, I want to do things because I'm trying to become a better person or become healthier or become whatever, or because I think that this is ethical or I think it's important to do or whatnot, like, but instead of doing things just because I'm tired or because it's easier or what have you, which is, I think, for a lot of the past couple of years, what I've done. It's just like, well, this is the easy thing to do, or this, is quick and I can get it done or whatnot. And so, yeah, so there's been a lot of like, I like joined I moved over my like book reading log thing to Storygraph, which is a great app for just storing like what you've been reading, but they also have like challenges in there, and one of them is to read around the world, and they give you 10 countries that you just have to read a book that's like set in it or includes it or whatever, and they're very random countries. It's like Albania and
Hmm.
France and like, whatever. So, and then they have like examples in there so that if you don't know or don't have these books, you can like find them. But I was like, this will be a good way to kind of be able to like set intention about what I'm reading. Not that I'm only reading classics or I'm going back to read like only highbrow literature or whatever, but that like I'm reading something so that I can learn about a new place, or I'm reading something for a reason. Sometimes it's still just fun, whatever, but like some kind of intentions. Um, and then intentions with like hobbies and making choices to not just be doom scrolling on my phone all of the time. Like what can I do when I get home in the evening so that I don't just sit on the couch and doom scroll?
Hmm.
What can I do, to make better choices about like, all sorts of things. But so it's not like, oh, I'm gonna run a 10K this year or whatever, but it's
Hey,
like
if you
just
want to,
like
I got one.
I don't. um but just thinking about like a lot of things that I have done have been out of just ease and comfort, and I need to be more intentional about some of my choices. So that's been what I focused on for the new year, is this idea of intentionality. And I think it's the same kind of desire of like, I used to do things intentionally.
Mm.
Like sometimes I think about like like I got a PhD, so I know I can do things that are difficult.
No, you sure
um,
can.
but like,
Well, but I mean, I think you're right. I think they're similar in the sense of like, I think we're both in a way. It's kind of like the student papers I was talking about earlier. I think our resolutions are based on the current state that we're in, and also that Kristy and I work very luckily in academia, and it's um we complain about it, but we would complain if we weren't in it. So it's a whole thing. And,
yeah,
I think, um, but there is a feeling that sometimes you need to get out of the rut of what even a job is, and to realize that we're living a life that we've got one of that we know.
yeah, yeah,
And like, what are we going to learn? What are we going to do? What are we going to, and what did we have? What sort of dream? This is for me, like, what dreams or what joys did we have when we were young that
yeah,
have gotten lost in the monotony,
yeah.
and I think that's something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, I mean, it's a very similar thing of like looking back in my life and being like, I used to be really intentional about my choices,
Mm.
not in a way of like saying like I was really disciplined, but like I was an ambitious person.
Hmm.
And um, I say was like I'm not still, but like, there's Now I'm just
As we talk about writing these books and all this.
a lazy bum. No, but like how have I lost that to some of that kind of, yeah, just like tiredness or the resignation. Part of it too is like intentional ways of stepping outside of my comfort and saying like this thing might be hard, but it will be ultimately good, and so I'm going to do it. And I think that's important, and um
Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, just saying like looking back and being like,
Are we having a
I
midlife crisis? Is that what's happening right now?
I think we might be. I think that our we're both like we
Sorry.
used to be so young and vibrant and like
I know. I keep looking over at my boxes because on the top of my box is just a hat that I got from Vietnam. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did that.
mhm.
I
I know,
think
like
too, I
around
think
the
too
house.
it's being a high achiever and like being like, oh, we kind of this sounds so ridiculous, but we've achieved a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We achieved a lot of things, and then it's like, okay, now what am I doing?
right. And for people who don't have I mean, I think this for the elephant in the room, Kristy, I don't have kids, or the quietness of the room, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think that occupies your mind for a great deal of years and maybe forever, if according to my mom. And it's like if you don't have that, then there is, and we don't regret those decisions. Like I'm not saying it's regret, but it is a different life.
Mhm. Well, and two, it's like, I don't know, like sometimes it feels a bit too cushy. Like Penny makes me get up and do things and like walk her and all of that, but like
And it makes you do
this
a
is
lot of things.
but this is like, like I mostly get to just do what I want to do. And
Mhm.
when I'm like I said, when I get home from work and I just sit on the couch and I doom scroll for 3 hours, like I don't actually want to do that, but like that's what I end up doing. I went to this, I think I talked about this before, but I went to this, it was called Nerd Night, and it's just like little mini lectures at various locations in St. Pete where like
You told
somebody
me
gets,
about it. I don't know if you
yeah,
told the
I
world
don't know if
about it.
but I told you. And it's interesting. So they have
Everybody
people
knows
like
now.
everybody knows. They have people get up and they just kind of give like a 10-15 minute thing about something they're passionate about. And
Sounds great.
one of the people that did it was this psychologist, and he was talking about the way that we train our brains to think that we like things even if we don't. So if
Mm,
you are like constantly on your phone doom scrolling or what have you, then your brain thinks that that's what you like to do. And so when you're like in a bad mood or you're sad or whatever, the instinctive thing to do is then pick up your phone and start scrolling, which just makes you feel worse, and like ultimately is also not productive, right? That's not participating in or doing anything, right? And so like do something else, go outside, go for a walk, read a book, blah blah blah. And
mm,
so like I thought it was really interesting, and I kind of was like, okay, I should probably get back to doing stuff that will keep me from just kind of mindlessness, but I didn't do that well. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to really like focus in on making good choices.
yeah.
And making choices that like when I look back and I see this young vibrant Kristy in her 20s and I remember what were the good parts about me, how do I get back to some of those good parts, you know?
I feel like we have the same sort of. Is this shocking to anyone that we
Oh,
have the same?
we also have
We came about it from different avenues, but it feels like it's the same.
basically Leah and I have had an entire conversation today about how similar, like our hair is giving us similar issues. We have
You don't
similar,
have a you don't have a giant cat scratch on your hand though.
and
Just
now we have
look at
similar
that.
glasses. Oh,
We
geez.
do have similar glasses now. And
Oh,
I actually am gonna disagree with our friend Rika. I'm into them now. I'm
can
into
I
it.
tell you? This is so
They're
yesterday
giving
because I
me
got
very
brand new glasses.
professor vibes, and I'm into it.
Yesterday I got these glasses and I sent a picture to our group chat and I was like, I don't know how I feel about these. And do you know what? Today I put mascara on and they were 1,000 times better. I was like, the mascara is the key. I even sent another picture to one of my friends, and she was like, Kristy, I don't want to say that you look better with mascara on, but like it is much better. I was
I
like,
mean,
no,
I think too, glasses are hard because like they change as one who now has had these for a while, it changes your face. Like it
it
changes
does.
the
It
way your
changes your face significantly. And
face
these are
looks.
quite different from the ones that I had before. So there's a lot of like adjustment that had to happen. But anyway, Leah and I are just our twin flame selves, twin flaming into
Well,
2026.
even though Kristy likes to leave me for like 5 months at a time, we are
Even though we are
the murder capital of the world.
currently rivals in football world, um, because it's
No,
football
well,
season.
not any. Both our teams lost in college football. I was hoping we would have some battle royale on this one, but they both just lost.
They just
So Christy and I were just like, oh,
want want like not even
womp
my backup team won.
womp womp.
my
I
backup
know.
my
Stuart
backup
was like,
team got demolished.
yeah, the one thing we could come together is at least Alabama lost real bad.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
think I watched that game that we played and I was like, well, I mean, they won. They just won. There was nothing to it. And
Yeah.
you know, and then your game I did watch as well and they just won. And I mean,
I was gonna say like Ohio State didn't play great, but they didn't play horribly. Like it was
no.
just they lost. Like
We
they
made
just
some
lost.
choices, but like that I think we're not the best and that they
I
agree we're not
I
the
want
best.
to also say like we have a freshman quarterback, and I feel like it got too big. Like he's not ready for that stage, you know. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
but
he
Texas Tech.
needs
So
to get ready. Oh, yeah.
my dad
I
went to
had
Texas
high
Tech.
hopes for the Christy. I
We were
told
both.
Christy I had high hopes, but
They lost
they
so
lost
bad.
real bad.
My dad was destroyed. It was bad.
Oh, and it was
So
sad
let's.
because I told Christy, I was like, my dad had said, I'm worried about Texas Tech. And so I had told her, like, if
And my
my
dad
dad
was.
is like, has a PhD in UGA football. And so I was like, we're all a little concerned over here. And all her poor dad got really excited. And then, but it
He
was
was so
genuine.
excited.
It was
He
genuine.
like every now and then my dad breaks into this like it's a great grin of just pure joy and
Mhm.
excitement. And when I told him what you said, he had that grin and I was like, "Oh, he's so excited." And then it was just so bad.
It was.
It
But you're
was
right.
so
It's that whether it's NFL or it is college, it feels like it is the year of defeats. And
it's a
everyone had us
feels
going, every single pundit that I had that I looked at had your team, and my team at the end.
yep.
And I was like, I don't know how Christy and I are going to recover from this,
I know.
but that's what I saw on everything. And then she and I's team both lost. And maybe that was a humbling experience in the new year that we needed to have.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I
Although
mean,
Christy now has her Broncos going.
the
And
Denver Broncos
the
are
only thing we did was help Carolina go. So
you at
that's fun.
least get to at least root on Carolina for a
That'll
playoff
be
game.
fun. I would love to see, like, because don't they do like a parade and stuff? I'm like here for the participation trophy. Like,
Um,
I don't need like, but
being
there's no world they're gonna win. But if they, well, I mean, but it's the year of losses,
year
you
of
know.
it's the year of the upset. I will say though, being in the city when your team wins a Super Bowl is an experience like no other. Like
I'll never put like a Panther jersey on, but I'll certainly like go in a black shirt, which is most of my wardrobe anyway, and just like
like
hang out and scream a lot. I mean, I'm in and drink. I'm into all of those things.
I I will never forget for many reasons, but one of them is for my team. But when the Broncos won the Super Bowl 50 and like it was just but even not even the Super Bowl, it was the AFC Championship game because I lived really close to the stadium at the time, and I was driving home from Jen's house where we had watched the game, and people were in the streets dancing and celebrating, and like it was just this huge party. It was just the championship, like the AFC Championship, and like and then we went to the Super Bowl, and it was this huge party in Denver, and it was just so great. And then I broke my teeth, but that's
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I feel like every time I scream and she broke her teeth.
And she
Because it
broke
is
her
such
teeth.
a horrifying story. There are certain stories that stick with me for various reasons. Like Kristy recently told me about a story about a family gathering that she had told me before, but I remember because it was about cats and it made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
This story lives on in my memory because it's so horrific. And so every time she brings it up, I start screaming about Kristy's teeth. And it's more because I was traumatized. I don't want to say as much as her because it's your motherfucking teeth.
It was my mouth. Yeah, it was terrible. If you've ever, listeners, if you've ever looked at a picture of me or met me in real life and you've thought to yourself, man, those
She
are
got
some
great
nice
teeth.
teeth. It's because they're fake.
If you ever were at the Scottish reception at AR in San Antonio and thought, wow, Leah and Kristy drank the same amount and have generally similar hygiene, why are Leah's teeth completely dark, like a jakey, as the
And
Scots
Kristy,
say?
they're still white. It's because mine are
Kristy's
so
are just white. It's because Kristy's aren't real and mine are.
porcelain.
And they don't get red, apparently, or they don't get that red.
They
Mine
don't
have
stay.
mine have pores in them. They're better now. They're better now. Look,
This is why she switched to white, guys.
I did. It was part of the reason. Well, I've now switched to white, and except I did it again when we were at beer camp. And I can't be friends with Kristy and drink red wine if we're doing public appearances. Because if you go, listeners, if you go on our thing and look at Will Rose and me and Kristy in a freaking influencer booth, I look like I've had my whole front teeth knocked out because and you say you must be drinking so much more red wine than Kristy. Listeners, no. I am not.
No.
If anything, this bee is drinking more than
I'm
me.
at least
But
going
again,
for drink, if not more.
I feel like that is the one benefit that will come out of that
it's
night.
those fake
I mean,
teeth,
other than
y'all.
Broncos winning,
They were pricey.
you got those teeth. You got them teeth, and
I
man,
did.
if the Falcons win, I guess I just have to go slam my head on a curb or something and get me some new ones.
Here's the thing, I don't recommend it.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I don't recommend it. I mean they're nice and they're white and straight, but like it was a horrible experience. So I slipped on ice just in case anyone's really worried what
I got
happened.
pushed down
It
by a
was icy.
murderer in the streets of
It was
Denver because
icy
that's
and
where they live.
I was wearing Toms, which is not appropriate footwear for icy streets, and I took a step
Why
off
would
of
you
the.
wear Toms in Denver in the
Well,
ice time?
I wasn't planning on walking around downtown Denver, but then
Were
we
you
won the
planning on
Super Bowl.
walking anywhere in Denver at this?
Not really. No, I was gonna go back to my car and go home because I didn't.
Car,
I didn't know that it was gonna be.
I have many questions.
Well, I had like really adult thoughts going into it, like I'm gonna be responsible and I'm gonna go home right after the Super Bowl and I'm not gonna drink a lot. And I didn't drink a lot. And I stopped drinking at halftime. Like I was doing a really good job of like being, and then we won and I was just so excited.
Why would
And I
you
was
not
like,
just like Uber there and Uber back?
oh, they closed off downtown. And so
Yeah, but
you couldn't
you
Uber in.
took your car somewhere. Take the Uber to where your car, like the equivalent of where your car was.
So we were at a house party. This is so much information for the whole world. We were at a house party and we won.
Guys, you love us. This is what you live to hear. All about Kristy's Super Bowl experience.
And then we
And no,
wanted
we're
to go.
not sponsored by Uber, so don't worry.
Everybody wanted to go to downtown Denver to celebrate. And we were close to downtown Denver. And like I said, they had cordoned off the downtown. And so we couldn't Uber in. So we had to just walk there. And so we were walking to downtown Denver and I stepped off of the curb and my feet just went right on behind me. And I mean, and like, lest you think that I just face plant, like I did try to stop it. So I had cuts all over my arms and bruises on my knees and like, but my face was like, I mean.
Do you have pictures of that?
No.
That's for the best. But
very silly, did not take it.
I was voyeuristically interested for 1 second.
I know. A lot of people were like, well, and then a lot of people were like, what does your teeth look like? I never looked. I never looked in the mirror to see what they looked like.
Oh,
like
no. That was the correct decision.
Yeah,
Like, that
I
would
was
look
like,
for you.
so
Here,
I fell off.
this is I'm gonna take it in a slightly weird direction. I never look at, bodies in viewings.
Mm-mm. I saw my
And
grandfather, and that was horrifying, and I have never again.
I can't do it. And I know
No.
this is a weird tangent from that, but it is but it lives in your head,
It
you
lives in
know?
your head. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
and
think you have to
I
be aware of
like,
what lives in your head.
because also we were in downtown Denver, so, and like I just said, we couldn't Uber back out. So I had to walk back after this. And then I had to take an Uber from like outside of the gates essentially back to my house. And so
You had
I
to,
mean,
like, live a life, didn't you? Until, like,
yeah.
oh my god,
So
Kristy,
well,
like,
the next
how do
day,
you live your life with your
no, the
no.
next day, my dentist actually got me in at like 8 a.m. and they gave me like really temporary caps so that I had something. So I had something resembling teeth pretty quickly. But then I had to get like it was a whole series. It took a whole year, and then a couple of years later, I had to get another implant. But like it was a
Yeah.
process. So like I said, do not recommend.
Oh my
Do
god,
not.
yeah, no. It's an
But
well, because everyone has those, like,
but
nightmares
again,
about teeth. There's a teeth
yeah,
nightmare
it's a teeth
situation.
thing. I do want to
Hmm.
stress. I had stopped drinking at halftime. This was not a like drunken fall. I slipped on ice because I was wearing
The
Toms.
air's thinner, Kristy, the air's thinner, don't you know?
Yeah, I know, but I lived there.
Anytime I make a poor choice in Colorado, Kristy tells me about the air being thinner, and I'm like,
That's because you don't live there.
I know, but you don't either anymore."
Well, I did
And
then, but I did
right.
then.
But also, I don't care because here's the deal. The choice was made. It was done. There's nothing else I can't like you can tell me the air is thinner and I'm like, "Sure, but tell that to Leah Robinson that was drinking at 9 p.m. and slipped on the ice and went to the drag club." Like that Leah doesn't care that the air's thinner.
That Leah just fell on ice.
You
Yeah.
told this version who was like, "Cool, we'll take
Yeah.
that into consideration," but that didn't take that in
Yeah.
consideration. So it's been a lot about Colorado.
This is a
Well,
really
guys,
Colorado episode.
I know it's usually Georgia, but I have nothing except that I went home for Christmas. And then, did you guys have a good Christmas?
Hopefully,
I had
everybody a New Year. What did you do
Chris.
for New Year? What did you do for New Year, Leah? I actually don't know.
I fell on a curb and hit my mouth. All these teeth are fake. That's why they're white. I did a responsible I feel like Uber, if you do want to sponsor us. My friend had a house party. She listens to this, but so I won't name her, but she went through a breakup recently, so she's moving house. So the house is completely empty, which is really funny.
Oh,
Um
that's yeah.
but we like ordered pizza and she lives down the road from me, so I got to walk and we just had like a house party and she still had her TV. So like we watched the countdown, which by the way, Anderson Cooper and what's his face are hilarious if
It's
you can
hilarious.
watch the clips. Yeah.
They're so
Um
fun.
and we partied and then I got to walk home and I thanked my lucky stars I lived in a city and was like,
That's an awesome. Yeah.
yeah, it was great. We stayed out. Stuart had to work the next day and he was falling asleep standing up kind of, and
Yeah.
I was like, why are you being this way?" And keep in mind, this is your reverend doctor that teaches at 5 to 6 p.m. now, and, that's really the start of my workday,
Yeah.
and um, he starts at 7 a.m., which is
Yeah.
different, and so he was like I was like, "We're just hanging out, we're just having a good time." I looked at my watch and it was 4 a.m., and he is, like, dying and has to be up in
Yeah.
3 hours to do things, and I was
Stewart.
like,
Stewart is a saint.
"We know,
Oh,
we know."
yeah.
He humors me and, and makes us exist, but there are moments where I'm like, "Wow, I would have just been like, go on with yourself, girl," because we were just, like, half a mile away from my house. I'd have been like, "And I'm out. Bye." So, yeah, that's what we did for New
Yeah.
Year's, and Kristy went to North Carolina and didn't see me because she hates me.
Yeah. That's what it was. I went to Asheville and saw the Avett
Yeah.
brothers.
She didn't
That
join
was
a
it
cult
was
though, so that's that.
um, Asheville was surprisingly cold, and I had to purchase a coat.
Kristy, it's the mountains, and it's not like Colorado mountains, but it's still the mountains.
I mean, they're so small. I was like, North Carolina,
I'm
it
not
can't be
saying
that.
we're not talking about don't be a snob about the mountains. I'm just saying it's colder up in them regions than
I just didn't know
Florida.
it was gonna
Than
be cold.
Florida.
I brought sweaters. I figured I'd be like, I'll wear my sweaters and that will be fine. And no, it was very cold, and I had to purchase a coat.
To be fair, it
Yeah.
was like 70 today, no joke. And I think you really that weekend was like that was a bad one.
It was just, and everyone in North Carolina, you could also tell that a lot of people had gone and purchased coats because I
Yeah.
kept seeing coats from the same store that I bought mine from. And and as soon as I walked up to the counter with my coat, the cashier said, "Do you want me to take the tags off so you can wear it?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "So you know what's happening right now?" And she was like, "Oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah."
yeah. We're
So,
painfully
so yeah.
unaware of how to dress in the South. Like I've worn flip-flops like since summer. I've not taken them off. But
Yeah.
we'll get a day or a couple days, and I think you just happen to come
It just
on those couple of
happened.
days.
It just happened, and it was like, okay, well, great. So, but
You got a
but it was a
coat,
great time. It's a great coat. I like my coat. I'm
and
happy
you
with
got
it.
to go see that. Christy went to go see the Evett brothers. Evett, Evett.
Avett Brothers. Avett.
I think it's Evett because
No, it's Avett. It's an A.
yeah, but are they Southern or are they from Colorado?
I think they're from North Carolina,
Then it's Evett. So
but I think they say Avett. I don't know. My friend is a big fan, and she says Avett, so I'm just going with her.
um anyway, but I that Christy went to go see a bluegrass band,
Uh
and
huh.
that's a good time. Good
It was a
time.
good time. We made friends.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Our like neighbor seat partners, couple of lovely ladies with one of their fiancés, um, and we're all like Instagram friends now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I love the friends that you make when you go to concerts like that. They are the best because you're just like,
I know.
that was not what
Concert
was,
friends.
yeah, but you have a
Shout out to
shared thing.
concert friends. Yeah, but it was a great time. Yeah, we had a good time. It's a
All
really
right.
like
Well, go ahead.
good way to celebrate New Year's. So anyway, we'll see you all next week because we're back.
I
We're
wasn't
here.
done yet, Christy, but okay for
Oh,
cutting me
I
off.
thought you said.
Rude.
I thought you said. All right then.
So rude.
I'm sorry.
I was actually gonna end it. I'm just trying to give you a hard time.
And also our book club meets on the
Oh yes,
21st. We're doing Catcher
Catcher
in
in
the
the Rye.
Rye. Yep. So posting about that soon if you'd like to join. We're gonna keep going with the book club this year because it's super important, especially since
Oh
right now
yeah.
everyone is
Speaking
quoting
of intentionality,
1984.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So,
Well, and it's
uh,
good because it makes you read. Like Stuart has
yeah,
joined it, and it's like it's actually good because we can talk about books that we've read, which is
yeah.
reading is not
It's
his
a,
favorite thing, and he does it.
yeah, it's a really good time too. Like I genuinely just really love hanging out with everybody. So, um, and we'll post all the pictures and the links and everything, and then we'll see you next week for Christian nationalism.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what tickles our fancy. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.